Okay, firstly, let me tell you guys the definition of taxation. So, what is really mean by taxation? Taxation can be defined as a compulsory contribution levied by the government on workers' income, property or business profit for the supporting the government to finance or provide public welfare in the country. Okay, so what it means here is the government need us to pay sum of money based on rates from our income, property, business, and the money are used by the government to finance or provide public welfare such as like education, medicine or the development. Next, what is the objective of taxation? What is the purpose of taxation and why we need to pay them? So I will give you two main objective of taxation. The first one is taxation is used for growth the economic. Taxation is a medium and method for promoting economic growth. The tax system is to minimize the restriction and economic development. So for the second objective is taxation is used for national income. The government needs money for providing different goods and services to people such as education, medical, housing and others. Taxation is the main source of collecting money for such purpose. The collected money will distribute back to the economy through development project or direct assistance. This is very useful to the community as tax payments will be reused back to help others in need or those who qualify. For example, as happened recently when the Malaysian government declared a new budget for 2021. One of the content in this budget was over 1.3 billion ringgit has been allocated for educational institutions under MARA and 2 billion ringgit more to finance loans for over 50,000 students in Malaysia. There is several content in this budget too, so there is no denying that these financial resources are derived from tax collections.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Sufyan. Now I want to explaining about scope of charge. Under Section 3 of the Income Tax Act 1967 provide that income tax in Malaysia is imposed on income accruing in or derived from Malaysia, except for income of a resident company carrying on a company such as air or sea transport, banking or insurance, which is accessible on our income scope. Okay, the transaction must be income in nature, and such income is accrued in or derived from Malaysia, or the transaction must be income in nature and it is received in Malaysia from outside Malaysia, that we call foreign source income. Next, I want to explaining about types of tax. They have two types of tax, which is direct tax and indirect tax. For the direct tax, we pay to IRB or Inland Revenue Board or Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri. We supposed pay like income tax for the individual, corporate tax especially for the company, petroleum income tax for Petronas, stamp duty, and lastly real property gain tax. Okay, for the second one, which is indirect tax. Indirect tax we pay through custom or custom Biraja Malaysia or Royal Malaysia Custom. Okay, the tax which is custom duty, excise duty, service tax, sales tax, and SST. The custom duty, that as we know, which is the company that pay to custom that we buying from another country, that we supposed to pay to the through custom.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Naim Rosman from DIA5C. Now, I will present about the classes of income on which tax is chargeable. The classes of income is under Section 4 in Income Tax Act 1967 that have 6 classes of income. The first classes of income is gain or profit from a business. For example of the first class is when the entrepreneur do a business, so they get a profit. The profit must classify as income. Second, gain or profit from an employment. The simple example is when the employer do a work and get a salary from an employee, so the salary must classify as an income. The third is dividend, interest or discount. Fourth, rent, royalties or premium. Fifth, pension, annuities or other periodical payment not falling under any of foregoing classes. And lastly is gain or profit not falling under any of the foregoing classes. Okay, we continue with the special of income on which tax is chargeable. Okay, the special classes of income is under Section 4A in Income Tax Act 1967. The income of a person not resident in Malaysia for the basis year are: first, amount paid in the consideration of service rendered by the person or his employee in connection with the use of the property belonging to, or the installation or operation of any plant, machinery or other apparatus purchased from such person. Second, amount paid in the consideration of any advice given or assistance or service rendered in the connection with the management or administration of any scientific, industrial or commercial undertaking, venture, project or scheme. And then lastly, special classes of income is rent or other payment made under any agreement or arrangement for the use of movement property.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Fauzan bin Muhammad Hasnul. I'm from DIA5C. Okay, now I will present about basis year, basis period and year of assessment. What is basis year? Basis year means the calendar year coinciding with the year of assessment. What is basis period? A basis period is the time period used to assess amount of tax. Tax are calculated based on income and expenses. Basis period divided into 2 categories. First one is individual and second one is for company, trust body, limited liability partnership, which is LLP and cooperative society. For individual, the income source of a person other than a company, trust body or cooperative society will be on calendar year basis. This is to facilitate the taxpayer on estimation of income tax, payment of tax and submission of return. Meanwhile, for other basis period for company, trust body, limited liability partnership and cooperative society can have its basis period for year assessment to be on calendar year basis or non-calendar year basis. Next, year of assessment. Year of assessment means the year when tax are assessed and paid. The individual rules for each income tax schedule. For example, for year assessment 2018 is the calendar from 1st January 2018 until 31st December 2018. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, back to me again. Now, I will present about the chargeable person.
The chargeable person is the person who charge to the tax, and they must pay the tax at the Inland Revenue Board. The first chargeable person is individual which don't married and earn income more than 34,001 ringgit per year. The income is after EPF deduction. Second, married individual and his or her couple not work who earn income more than 46,001 ringgit per year. Third, individual who run business even though the business is suffer loss. So, if their business loss, they also must pay the tax. Fourth, new employees that charge to the monthly tax deduction. The monthly tax deduction is when the employer already deduct the tax from their salary. Fifth, individual which have income that can be charged by tax. And lastly is individual that sell or buy real estate. This is like a broker or any businessman that want to buy a real estate. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.